Dun 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 dun. Oh, excuse me. Hello, welcome back to another Getting Projects Done with me, your host, and guy who you follow. We're continuing our work on the shoot, I don't have the box anymore. The SwampBoss on SkumDrekk? Yeah, SkumDrekk. So I have assembled the SwampBoss as such. He's the guy with the little pinchy claw. And I've also mostly assembled the beast itself. I've left the head off so that we can paint that and get to some other little gibbly gooks and such. And of course, I've also left the claw, the cages that dangle off to the sides, and there's another small one that dangles off to this side that has been left off. So we're leaving those off for the time being. I'm going to continue some of my efforts by pinning, if I can. If I have any corks left, I have this one. Yeah, this should be fine. Just one. I think one cork will be enough. So I'm going to mount this guy to a cork. I'm going to get that started. I have not primed the models yet, and we're just getting started here. So we're going to pin this. I was also thinking that maybe I'll do a bit of a custom base. Not so custom, but just a little bit more depth to the base. And yeah, just like, some elevation. Maybe go for a swampy look, something like along those lines. Because I think he's going to pretty much occupy the base like such. So there is a lot of forward dangle, because he comes about here, about as far as his claw comes. That's where his head ends. But there's going to be quite a lot going on with this figure. And yeah. So we'll see. We will see. So I'm thinking that if I do that route, that I'll probably pin him in his 2 feet here, just so that he lines up and he's secure. Just because typically whenever we do, like if you do ever use like cork on the base or use something along those lines, and then you end up super gluing the figure to the base, but then the figure ends up just busting off anyway, because super glue is not really that great for holding parts together that, like they're not material on material connection. And so, yeah. Which is why, like with all these styrene kits, that I always recommend using styrene plastic cement to put these figures together, because it melts the parts together and it gives you like the best bond. The way the shadow was falling on his head there, I thought there was a giant gap, but no, there's no gap. So anyway, I'm going to drill him right in his crotch. Yes, you heard it correct, kids. I'm going to drill him right in the crotch. Right in the backside. I'm just going to drill this in. And then we use just a little bit of super glue to fix him to a pin. And that'll be it. So I'm just going to drill a little ways in. Whenever I'm pinning a figure, I usually do this by hand. I usually don't use my rotary tool. I have a Dremel that could obviously get this hole drilled like in no time flat. I often don't use that just because, I don't know, it just spins up really, really fast. It can get away on you really, really fast, right? So, and I think I'm pretty far. Oh yeah, I'm really far in. I drilled them really far. So now the big question that I have is, holy smokes, how am I painting this? How am I going to go about painting this? Will it just sit in there with tension? Not really. No, we're gonna have to glue that. So I'm gonna get my super glue. I'm currently using a bottle of oh jeez, running over stuff here. Oh dang it. Currently using a bottle of Zap-O-Gap. Zap-O-Gap. I like this one. It's good for, obviously gluing things together, but you can use it to gap fill as well. Hence the name, Zap-A-Gap. Actually, you know what? I'm going to score this up before I slide this on. Just to provide a bit more tooth for the glue to grab hold of. So I'm just taking off this paint. And I'm just using a metal file to just score up the surface. Just to provide, like I said, a bit more tooth. Don't really need that much. And yeah, let's sit them this way. And just fit them right in there. I'm not using any activators. That's it. Now typically, whenever I'm using my glue, if I'm done using it, I usually burp the tip. I did adjust the tip on this a while back. Just burp, like if you use super glue and you're tired of glue building up in there, yeah, you just burp the tip. I usually just take a paper towel or whatever, pinch it over, and then have it upwards, and then apply pressure to the bottle, and then that way I can feel like, you know, like blowing the nose kind of thing, right? And that just keeps that passageway clear so that it's ready to go again when next time I need it. And that's it. That's the tip for the day, people. That's it. All right, so I have the cages and stuff. I have them on my holder here. Is that in the frame? Yeah, sort of. I have the parts, the cages. I also have the beastie's head ready to go. And I left the armor off because I like the way it looks without the armor. It just looks more fun. He looks like a good boy. Looks like a doggy. He's a good boy. Kim, there he is. Here I am. Here you are. Here I am. All right. So, we are going to get to the priming. Wonder if I can... it's not really the best. Hang on to him by his tail. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to hold this while I prime it. I could just stick it to a handle, I suppose. Just put his 2 feet down. Secure that, prime that. Because we're not going to touch the base yet. The base will be later. So we don't really need the base. Sorry, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out best moves here. Best move. Can we grab that? No. These too big? Yes, they're too big. No, can't grab the foot either. That's too round. Let's grab this guy. Oop, jeez. Let's take this guy off his handle. Let's see if this does the trick. So originally I was thinking of using something like Wraithbone or Wraithseer spray to prime this, but I figured, nah, I'll just use the airbrush and get all that primer off. Let's see here. Let's see how well this works for us. Let's see if we can make something happen here. So I'm not too concerned about the bottoms of his feet. So if no primer gets there, I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried. I'm worried, but I'm not too worried. Will he occupy this space okay? Yeah, he does. Okay. Let's take these 2 globs. Stick them right under his feet. That's probably too much. Let's use a little bit less. Let's use half that. Let's put this little chunk. Make sure this is all nice and tacky. To make sure it stays nice and tacky, I always just stretch it, put it back together, stretch it, put it back together, stretch it. You know how it goes. If you hear a slight little droning sound, it's my fan running. It's still a little bit warm in these parts. It's kind of cool outside. It's getting cool, but it's still a little bit warm. Wait. Who goes there? Who's that stumbling in the dark? Here, Mr. Hale. Mr. Hale. Okay. That's all right. Yeah, that'll work. Hell, we might even be able to paint him on that. Gotta unmute myself here. Mr. Boop.
Oh, I was being really quiet, as quiet as I could.
Alrighty. So, I'm going to get started priming and probably starting to lay some base coat down. Any thoughts as far as how to paint this monstrosity? I'm painting up the SwampBoss Scumdrekk.
Any ideas, like what color?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it like I'm seeing everywhere else, so I want to do something a little bit different.
So they're from a, them dank swamps.
The dank swamps?
Yeah. Smelly. I think maybe, personally, pale. Like a pale white. So I don't imagine they get too much sun from the swamp.
His flesh being a pale white?
Are you talking about the orc or the monster?
The monster. And the
Yeah.
orc. Both.
Well, I was talking about the monster.
Oh, okay. The monster, a pale white flesh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, not like, not white. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Not a lot of pigment in its skin. Very pale. It doesn't have to be pale, like a pale flesh. It can be like a pale purple.
So are you thinking like
I'm just thinking on the paler end of colors.
so if it was like really pale pink or pale green or
Pale pink or pale. I would say pale green for the orc guy, unless you didn't want to paint him green.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't have to be green. It's your model. You could paint him tan.
You're absolutely right. I could paint him any which way I want.
Like the hobgoblins that came out for these guys.
Yeah.
Like a tan. They're not green. They're an orcoid or whatever, but they're not green.
Yeah.
But I think for the both of them, at least story, because model's telling the story. They're from the swamp. Swamps generally kind of dark and, well, at least in fantasy, they're kind of dark and not a lot of sunlight, kind of smelly.
No, I like it because if the flesh is very, very light, then the cloth that dangles down from him can be a darker tone. Yeah, and the wood can be, really brought out like wood and dark chains.
Yeah, you can paint the wood like, how like when wood sits in water for a long time?
Yeah. It gets really gray and dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm actually doing my own hobby. I just got the mailman literally before I came on stream. He dropped off my Infinity pre-order.
Oh, cool. So you got some stuff to work on.
Yeah. I always have stuff to work on.
Well, we all have stuff to work on.
But I have new interesting stuff to work on that's relevant with the time. Not stuff from 2 releases ago, like all the other stuff.
True. I know, I'm way behind on stuff too.
Oh, what's this?
Kim, waiting for my ice cream batter to chill down so I can put the maker and freeze it. Got an apple cake in the oven. Cool. Green leaf terrain with a brush. Duh. Oh, how am I going to paint it with a brush? Yeah. Disco, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Disco. Greenleaf, must be a short bus kid. Hey, B-word. Hey, B-word. B-word. Kim, worked out my Krieg scheme and painted the first dude. Yeah, I saw that on Discord. Very, very cool. Me likey. Unfortunately, like models like Kriegs, you're going to see them all look kind of very similar, That's kind of unfortunate that, people are not willing to, step outside the norm, as it were. Like, nobody's going to paint their coats yellow, red. Everybody's going to go dark gray or navy blue. Or
grays.
Yeah, like it's boring. That's boring. You have so many opportunities to do something fun, and I'm going to do it like I see it on the book. Dark.
Yeah, as far as Krieg goes, they had back before they repainted the Forge World ones to green. The Krieg official lore schemes were sand color, okay, black, gray, and then that French blue, and that French blue was as far as they ventured out of boring color.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate, not to do something fun with it. I even think doing it almost like the Steel Legion color scheme. I think that would be really cool.
They do have a quote unquote official like that, but
just something more interesting than just dark.
I'm painting mine French blue only because I really like that French blue color.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, you can always throw in little spots of red elements on them, or the lapels. I don't know if they have lapels, but the lapels.
Don't they? I don't know on the plastic kits. On the resin ones, they have little collars where you can paint where their insignia is supposed to be.
Right.
And you can typically do reds and.
I hear you.
So, because they're modeled after World War One, and that's how in World War One they distinguished who was part of whose group was you're all wearing the same color. Well, Jimmy might not be in your regiment, so his little collar tab might be blue, while yours is red.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. I mean, everybody, especially when you're dealing with people fighting each other that are of similar appearances, you distinguish yourself by, uniform, right? I mean, it's just Napoleonic era fighting, right? You have 2 European nations fighting who, don't, it's kind of hard to tell who's who, right? And so that's why one wears red, one wears blue. It's a similar idea with Native American. If you've ever heard me go on about, the feathers and such, we wear our, Ojibways, we wear our feathers downwards versus people in the plains, Dene, they'll wear them up. And that's typically where you see that look of the feathers behind the head pointing straight up. But on a battlefield, people who are of similar skin tones and styles, yeah, you can't distinguish, especially in the chaos of a battlefield, right? So, if one side has the feathers up and the other side's wearing them downwards, you can kind of tell who you're supposed to, murder-nate.
Yeah. But that's what I'm doing with my Kriegers, is they're all being painted the French blue. But normal infantry guys, would be in the same regiment, so their collar tab, where their collar tab would be is going to be red. And then people in tanks is probably going to be like blue or green. It's also, I don't know if you, Chris, if you're going in on that Masters of the Universe board game. We got 5 hours left.
No, I'm not going in on that.
Okay, I am.
Yeah? Cool. Do it, man. Let me know how it goes. Now, why does this feel like the air pressure is really low? Oh. Probably because I didn't turn my fucking compressor on. I was wondering why the pressure was feeling lower and lower. I was like, what the hell?
Let me rephrase it. Currently I am after changing mine for 5 hours.
Right.
So I opened my Code 1 operation things in Stone, and I got an ad for Infinity's coming out with a board game.
They're making an Infinity board game? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's called like Tag Raid. It looks like it's like a board game with hex tiles, but all the players are like a tag, and you fight like, it looks like monsters, like alien beasts.
Oh, that sounds fun. All right.
The tag, it kind of reminds me of a Deep Rock Galactic because the tags look like or the mechs or whatever, it kind of look like miners.
Miners?
Or, well, like they're there to gather resources.
No, I know what you meant.
And the big giant alien worm isn't too happy.
Miners? Like miners? Or miners? All right, we're getting things started with some Stynal Res Gray. Gray primer. I'm going to use a Patriot 105 spring at around 25 PSI. Yeah, that feels a lot better now. I can't believe I didn't have my compressor on. I was thinking, why am I getting such low pressure? It doesn't make sense. All right. No. Oh, your bird's active again. And we got this guy attached. Yeah, we're all good to go. We are good to go. So,
is this that? Oh no, it's just a new box. New box and stuff. Oh no. Alright, so one of the minis in the box set is that thermal plastic stuff that we're talking about Infinity's using.
Yep.
So I get to actually look at it first.
Oh.
Forget why we were talking about plastic, but then I remember that came up.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day. All right, let's do him first. I'm spraying off camera just because.
Look at it. It's not too bad actually. It's a little flexible, but it's not.
I really like Stynal Res Light Gray or Gray Prime, but it's the exact same hue as the plastic. Hard to tell what I'm doing. And
I usually hit it with black first, and then I hit it with the blue, just so I can see.
Yeah. Like you can tell, there's a slight difference, but to the eye, holy crap, it's hard to see. Oh, my beastie fell over. I guess the sticky tack's not doing the trick right now. Oh well. Just need to get the primer down.
I don't think I would be upset if Infinity started using this thermal plastic stuff for their normal minis. If it holds at least as much detail as I think it would hold. Because, pretty good.
Yeah, are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Alright, beastie.
I mean, granted, this robot's fairly large compared to like a human in Infinity, so I have no idea, like, you know, if it would hold detail like this if it was smaller.
Right.
But if it can, now I'm sold on it. Well, maybe I'm not completely sold, but I'm pretty close to being completely sold.
You sounded pretty sure a moment ago.
No, it's minor. The connection points are a little wonky. You have to sit there and trim at them a little bit. That's about it.
Alright. I think I got everything. I think.
It looks really good. And before I say it looks fine, you get like 3 hours in the painting, and there's this giant bare spot, and it's like, oh, you said it was fine.
Yeah. Usually happens. I probably should have went with white, considering that the skin is going to be fairly light.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh well.
So with this new box set, they came out with some new units. And one of the new units is called a Cosmo Soulbot.
A what?
A Cosmo Soulbot. So like a cosmonaut, but he's a soldier, so he's a Soulbot.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of painting him like those old Russian cosmonauts, like back during the space race, where they were like wearing those like orange suits, and then painting his armor and stuff white.
Didn't NASA used to wear the orange suits too?
That might be a new one.
Oh, you think it was more of a modern thing, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever I think of astronauts, I always picture those orange suits.
Yeah, the orange NASA suit was a newer color.
Kim, the thermoplastic is supposed to be super durable, and you can throw the mini at the wall, and it should be fine. It's what they said. I never had any, so can't say by experience. Yeah, throwing the mini at the wall. I don't know if I really want to test that. And I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure every gaming group probably has somebody out there who has thrown their minis at the wall, but I'm not sure I'd want to test that. I don't care how durable it is, they say. All right, I think I'll just give these a few moments to dry. Put my primer away. Excuse me. And yeah, let's put these guys over here for the time being. We're going to look at the beastie for the most part. And let's go with... what's a good starting point for a light flesh? I guess it really depends on how light I want to go, right? And also what color. I'm thinking, when you said light flesh, I was thinking of very pale, with like kind of like pinkish and purple tones, like in, you know, the shadowy points and stuff like that.
You know, with like it's albino almost.
Yeah, like albino. That's it. That's what I was looking for. Albino. It's albino. What is it? Scumdrekk? Whatever the hell a Scumdrekk is.
I'm just gonna forever call it the swamp sloth.
Swamp sloth?
Yeah. Well, it looks like a reptilian sloth.
Yeah.
It has like the three. I don't know if it actually has like 3 toes, but.
Yeah, it's got 3 toes.
When I look at it, everything reads swamp sloth or reptile sloth, swamp sloth, whatever.
Swamp sloth? Say that 10 times fast.
No.
Swamp sauce? And just for good measure, I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol. Some of this primer is sticking to the walls.
Looking at spacesuits, the first NASA spacesuit was actually bright yellow.
Bright yellow?
Like, if you remember, like, old Imperial fists, like the old studio scheme for them.
Do you think the first astronauts
were
Imperial fists?
What?
No?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, do you think the first astronauts were Imperial fists?
Oh, maybe they were.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they
never
were.
met them. They could have been 8 feet tall.
Right? We don't know. Historical records from that time period are unreliable at best. Just saying. It's a possibility, man. Come on, if numbskulls out there can believe that the Earth is flat, we can totally imagine the first astronauts were fully aware that they were the Imperial fists. It's, oh yeah, by the way, we're the Imperial fists. Who's that? The Grim! The Gim! What's happening, buddy? What's happening? Holy shit, your voice is all over the place.
It's the echo.
Did you say you're in the toilet?
No.
Oh. I was gonna say, you're calling us from your toilet? While he's fucking pinching one?
He is right.
As Jim's talking, you can hear the occasional plop,
Oh.
clunk.
Whoosh.
Yeah. Fucking gross, man.
You know me. Boundaries, what are those?
Yeah, boundaries. Never heard of her.
Boundaries.
That's some Eldar speak.
All right. What's a good starting point for a light flesh? Rakarth flesh, pallid witch flesh.
When I do my pale skin for my corn stuff, I start with Rakarth. That's what I personally start with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's usually like I use that for like scroll. Where is it? Rakarth. Yeah.
And I go all the way to White Scar.
Yeah. I think we'll get started with some Rakarth. We'll do that.
In fact, I could probably, if I'm super smart, I have a picture.
Like smart SMRT?
S-M-A-R-T.
It's a joke. It's a Simpsons reference. You damn kids in your internet.
For me, it's my kids and Alexa. Ask them what it feels, somebody ask Alexa. Like, you guys. Put the planter in your hand. It's not that useful.
Alrighty. Let's get some flesh happening. I still would feel better if I didn't have to handle this though. If I use the other side. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. I think I want 3-point contact here. Yeah, we'll use the other side. Kim, when I did Fabius Bile, I did the lightest triad of skin tones I had and then shaded down the skin with red and blue inks. Yep, okay, cool. Disco, I start with dark flesh tones, build up to light. If you're aiming for lighter flesh tones, start no darker than Bugman's. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go that dark. I mean, like, this is really just going to be the base, right? So it's pretty darn light, and this is as dark as I want to go. But I also don't want it to be too browns. I also I think I want to go for more of a pinky, kind of veiny kind of look. I want there to be veins. I want veins.
I sent you a picture.
Well, you sent me a picture, did you?
I sent you a link to a picture.
Chris, is this the cool boy you're painting right now?
Yeah, this is the SwampBoss SkumDrekk.
And the skin you're talking about is the cool boy skin, no? The Orruk skin?
No, this is the big beasty.
Swamp sloth.
The swamp monster. Oh, this sounds cool. Alright, I'm gonna log out and watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the.
I'm on my phone, so I can't do both.
Gotcha.
Okay, later.
So he's leaving. He just leaves. Welcome. He's gonna have it in the background. Yeah, I see that skin. Yeah, and so that's the way you like to do it. Is like Rakarth.
Yeah, I start with Rakarth, and I just go all the way to White Scar.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna push it to White Scar.
I might pin shade with like, what's that dumb GW flesh wash called?
Rakarth flesh? Or
No,
Reichland?
the wash. The shade or whatever the heck they call it. Reichland flesh shade, that's it.
Didn't I just say that?
Oh, I thought you said Rakarth.
Did I? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's all these colors. Hey, you see G-Dubs is giving away a bunch of paints and stuff? They're doing a big giveaway.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know that when you go to a GW store, you can get those pick 10 boxes, and you get it's like you buy 8 and you get like 2 of them free or some crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little box you fill.
Oh! I just broke his fucking tail.
Like like broke, or was it like where you glued it?
It's where I glued it. But it's all scored up, but yeah. That is hilarious.
God, Chris, you're supposed to be painting it, not breaking it.
Yeah. No, I had problems when I was farting around with it the other day, when I was gluing that on. So, I guess we'll have to give this a little bit of time here because.
Oh, I see. The Citadel Masterclass giveaway.
Yeah.
You basically win all their hobby supplies.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. It's not often that G-Dubs does big giveaways like that.
I might actually like sub and watch those master classes.
I've been watching them. There's like 4 right now, I think. They're really well done. And, oh, what the hell's her name?
Louise Sudgeon?
Yeah.
I can't pronounce her last
Yeah, she's a good presenter. She does a pretty decent job.
name. She paints pretty good, or really good.
Well, yeah, I mean everybody I think at G-Dubs, it's because like they have it down to
A science.
yeah, like they do have a way of doing things, and I'm sure you're indoctrinated right from the start when you start working for G-Dubs.
The painting.
Yeah, just how to paint minis and all the terminologies, and it's they school you on it, they train you on it, right?
Mm-hmm. But they're all at least for their painting teams, they're also picking from like existing hobby painters. So, they might not paint the GW way going in.
Okay, let's try this again.
Let me rephrase that. They might not paint the GWA at home, but when they're at work doing these videos, yeah, it's going to be the GWA.
If I'm recommending anything, and you're heeding my recommendation, the shows, Angels of Death, that is worth the price of admission. Angels of Death is just awesome. They're about.
I'm not like I'm not going to subscribe. It's more like I'm going to subscribe, and it's like I'll do it later today, and it's just like
Totally forgot.
didn't subscribe today.
No, I hear you. No, I've been enjoying Angels of Death a lot, and the next videos to be coming out are to be the more of those 2D animated ones, the Bolter and Sword.
I don't know. It sounds so similar to their book that they come out with, or that has like a collection of like short stories called like Hammer and Bolter, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that.
And the show is something similar to that.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, we're just gonna leave him right there for the moment. Let that rest.
Even though I think I'll sub, and I'll definitely watch the master classes, even if I don't necessarily always paint, I guess, the GW way. There is always something to learn.
Well, the other thing that I've been actually starting to peruse through on the Warhammer Plus is the White Dwarfs. I've started actually perusing those.
Get the whole backlog up.
Yeah, well, they're just starting to put them out, so there's not a lot there yet. But I am going through them and kind of catching up, and like there's some good stuff in there. I wish there was just an easier way to page through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be nice if like you could just download it as a PDF, whatever issues you want.
Yeah.
But then that makes it too easy for everybody just to, you know, start sharing the shit out of it kind of thing. So, which I'm sure is what they want to avoid. Oh shit, Chris. Yeah, I know. Busted the tail. We'll give that a little bit. No, I remember the other day when I was assembling this, I can't remember what part I was on, but I felt the tail flex, and so I think I weakened it at some point when I was assembling this. Yeah, so it was my fault. Anywho.
I like Tamiya extra thin, but that is a problem with it. It is extra thin.
Well, it's not so much the thinness. It's just it takes a little while for the plastic to fully cure. I usually like to leave connections alone for about an hour before coming back and farting around. And sometimes even then, sometimes the plastic still feels a little bit gummy. Like if you can feel the part move a little bit, and so I leave it longer. So yeah. I tend to like to leave things alone for a good long while.
I'm gonna check some beastmen, and a few of them their arms have just kind of like fallen off.
Yeah,
because I didn't put enough the Tamiya on there.
I'm gonna change my paint water. There's all sorts of surface floaties here. Disco, Way the Brush. Angels of Death is worth the price of Warhammer Plus. I concur. I like slowly. I mean, it's just started. We're only a month into release of Warhammer Plus, and so far it's been pretty good. It's a once a week kind of thing. They update and everything like that, and I think they could space it out a bit better rather than just having everything released on Wednesdays. I think they could space it out to like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of thing where, you know.
Or they release maybe a video.
Yeah.
Or two.
Rather than once a week and have everything updated, I think it would be better if they updated, you know, like if Angel of Death went up on Mondays, and then, you know, the masterclass paintings went up on Wednesdays, and, you know, the lore videos went up on the Thursday. You know what I mean? Just spaced it out a bit. Just so that you keep coming back to it, right? Alright, I'm back. Oi! New follower. Fesserine. Fesserine? Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Fesserine. The Cruel Boys models are a nice take on the orcs. A nice amount of decay, tarnished metal, and malice. They have a nice bit of malice to them. I like that. I like it. There's some malice there. Oh, Fesserine is the bearded Gim. Okay, it's Gim. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Gim, you haven't been on the Twitch side of things before? Really? So I've never read that name. Alright, we're going to start laying down some Ricard flesh on the head. The head has been cured. Well, I finished assembling this all yesterday, so yeah. We're just going to start working on stuff, and we're going to start puttering away. Any idea on the Cruel Boys themselves? Any ideas? Thoughts? Suggestions?
Well, I was using the new paint color they came out with for them. I forget what it's called, but it's basically pale orc skin base tone.
Right.
It was. I just happened to get it because the manager at GW was like, "Oh, there's new paint," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever." And he showed it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll get it." He sold.
He got you.
Darn GW vans, you sold me on the paint pot.
You got suckered in.
But it's a base paint, Chris. It covers better than the other light green. At least that's what they say. Let's see what that. I gotta look at the paint kit. See what that color actually. It is just Orruk flesh. Okay. The very pale green.
Disco might have the Corvus Cabal. It just needs some line cleanup and glue. Fesserine? It's like War Mahor's faction Scar that got lost in the swamp for a century. Cool boy flesh should be like cave catfish skin. Very pale, almost gooey. Yeah, I think so. I like that. It's kind of why I was kind of intrigued by the idea of painting this guy in light flesh tones. Just because, I mean, like, I'm also thinking of, like, you know, how it's going to play with, like, the doodads and, you know, just having very interesting, you know, color going on the surface, right? Trying to think of it in a painterly kind of way. How's it going to work, you know, values and saturation. Because personally, I do enjoy a well saturated paint job. But that's kind of the old school guy in me. Because a lot of old school paint jobs are very, very bright and saturated. But I like it. I like it that way. There are some gaps on the figure, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to stress out over it. This is more of a get it done kind of thing I'm feeling. Mainly because, like, I don't collect these guys, so I'm not, like, you know, I'm not super motivated to, you know, include them in the current roster of things sitting on my shelf. But you never know. I'm curious though, should I move the camera in a bit? Maybe, eh? So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Going for a ride, kids. Actually, here, let's do something like this, right? Something like that. Do something like that. Is that a little bit? My freaking mic is in the way. There we go. Yeah, it's a little blurry though. So, Open this up. Do this. Do this. Do this. And do... I'd like to leave it on auto adjust, but oftentimes it ends up just going blurry all the time and very annoying. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Is that okay? Yeah. So you can see, we still see some of the primer peeking through. Yeah, because we're going to do another coat. We're going to thin it down, do another coat. Coot. Fessor. Oh, it's Fessor 1. It's a water cooling product that I used in my water cooled computers. Last time I was on Twitch was watching computer stuff. Gotcha. I hear you. Okay. More Ricard flesh. More. Yeah, because I got to do his neck.
Chris, aside from, I guess, maybe work, do anything exciting today?
Nope. Exciting? No. Just living life, man.
Just living life, no excitement.
No, because I mean, like, since this whole frickin' pandemic thing started, I've been pretty much a shut-in.
Gotcha.
But even before the pandemic, I was mostly a shut-in anyway, so. Mainly because I don't like people.
So instead of becoming a crazy cat person, you've become a crazy mini person.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a cat person either. I don't care for cats.
Oh, no. I get that. But I meant, just like, because the stereotype, you know, the crazy cat, old cat person doesn't like anybody, but then they have, like, all the house full, like, cats.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I could easily have, like, a whole bunch of dogs. Yeah, totally. That could totally happen. I'm sure in an alternate timeline, there is a Chris out there who has a whole shit ton of dogs.
Doesn't like talking to people.
He still doesn't like talking to people, no.
Get off my lawn, you kids.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I think light flesh is probably the way to go with this dude. Alright, grabbing a fairly generous amount of water, thinning the Ricard flesh down a little bit, and we're doing another layer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new planes for 40K come out. Well, not 40K for what's that plane game called? Shit.
Shit.
Aeronautica. The aeronautical box with the we heard you like Imperium, so instead of the Imperial Navy, we give you Space Marines. And then the long-awaited Eldar.
Yeah, I'm most likely gonna get that set.
That goes up for order tomorrow.
Yeah, they're most likely gonna get my money off that one.
What you thinking, Chris?
I'm just thinking where I want to go with this guy, so. Let's turn this around. Let's bring that right nice and close. There we go. Make it all nice and bright like. Professor 1. This beast is what happens when the gator mates with the sloth. Ugh. I'm off to work in an hour. Okay. Need to rotate the camera down just to see your knuckle. That knuckle? Or these knuckles? I'll give you some freaking knuckles. Did you give that thing a Gene Simmons tongue? Well, it's sculpted that way. I thought that was hilarious. Because, like, when my dog is out for a walk, that's how her tongue looks. That's why I was like, oh, good little boy. Petting on him head. I don't know. I like the unhelmeted head better. It just looks cool. And then plus two, like, since we're going in a slightly different route for the flesh, why not?
But Chris, it's not modeled as the model is supposed to be.
Why? What model would that be? It's
a joke.
Oh. No, I know you were making a joke, but I mean, this is the alternate head in the box. I don't understand. Yeah, like how would anybody have issue with that? Look at that face. How could you have an issue with that face? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah.
Nah, it's just making fun of Warhammer people.
Are you nerd shaming? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm nerd shaming the ones who go, oh, since you used the alternate build for this model, you can't use these rules because he has to look like this to use these rules.
Oh, well then, yeah, go ahead, shame away. That kind of shit bugs me too. I can't get too pissed off at it though, because I was kind of that guy back in the day as well.
See, if I ever get around to building this kit, I'm gonna do the helmeted one where his mouth is closed, because, well, yeah, it's a different helmet on his head one, but I think it's a different head in the box actually.
Yeah, it is a different head.
Because it looks like it's wearing an executioner's cowl. Or hood.
I'd grab the bit for you, but it's...
I'm looking on GW's website.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, it's covering his, pretty much the whole monster's face, except, like, a little cutout for his mouth and his ears. And it just kind of looks like, you know, like, not fantasy, like Warhammer Fantasy, but fantasy in general, how executioners always have that, like, black hood. Basically covers their whole face, and then they might have like a little cutout so they can see.
Now then, got some of this flesh going on. You know what? I think we can pretty much plot out this this paint job right from this head, because it's got a little bit of the wood, it's got the metal bits, it's got the cloth, it's got the flesh.
There you go, Chris. You don't got to paint the rest of the mini because you got everything right there.
Yeah, true, right? I can just screw it.
That's all your content right there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see the colors, because this skin is going to go brighter. But if you can imagine more magenta and purple tones, blue tones, like in the eye sockets, around the mouth, maybe around the horns. I might do veins, stuff like that, right? Go for a really kind of almost clear albino kind of look, right?
An albino.
Yeah, it's an Inception albino. It's an albino within an albino. I do apologize to anybody out there with albinoism for my lack of sensitivity towards the plight of the albino. I'm sure none of them are tuned in, but whatever. It's out there. It's out there all the same.
Well, we can say ghost crabs, because ghost crabs are all naturally just that white that they're almost translucent. And Chris won't have to worry about hurting anybody's feelings.
True. I usually don't worry about hurting people's feelings, but you know. But if I can avoid it, I try.
Oh, do you?
I try. I said I try.
Didn't say it was a real hard try.
I didn't say how successful I am at it, but I said I try.
Or how hard I tried.
Yeah,
I try.
but I try. You might have figured out my secret.
Yeah, it was me as a kid. I'm going, I'd be like, I tried. Like, you barely did anything. Well, I said I tried. I didn't say how hard I tried.
Gim, I build one. I don't remember that tongue. Wish I went the way of the tongue. Go tarnished copper metal. Ooh, tarnished copper metal. Yeah, on the plates. Yes. Yes, I like that. Because it's an excuse to go with some nice metallics in there. Do some verdigris. That's a good excuse. I think I'm going to go with dark colors for the wood. Probably like a gray-black. Something neutral. I'm just thinking about the cloth. And because if it's a darker copper, I'm going to go with a little bit of verdigris. And the flesh is going to go like lighter. It's going to go white almost. Not white, but you know, it's going to go pretty light. The cloth bits, I was actually thinking of going like a dark red to almost a black in the shadows. That's what I was thinking.
Like a really dark crimson-y.
Yeah. But if I go with a dark red, it's not going to play very well with the copper, I think. Maybe a dark
blue?
Yeah, well, maybe not blue. I'm thinking maybe turquoise. Dark turquoise and the copper. The dark turquoise and the copper will play very nicely with each other. And the flesh, the given the pale nature of the flesh, will be more neutral. I do like the idea of the copper, though. And I'm thinking like a dark turquoise. In fact, I'm thinking Incubite Darkness is the base color with black shadows.
I kind of agree with the metal, like copper, or what is it, like bronze is I think like a close coppery color.
Yeah.
when I'm looking at the metal, it's really, really dented, which implies that metal is not like, you know, hardened steel, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, because like copper, right? I mean, like, because anybody can work with copper. You just use a
bronze and stuff for easier to dent or softer metal than steel.
Sure, but I mean, this is a fantasy setting, so we can make up whatever, right? I mean,
well, yeah, but I'm just like when somebody looks at it, you know.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Incubi Darkness for the base because I want it to be dark, but I want it to, but I don't want it to be like how we do highlights on black with turquoise. You know, I want it to be more turquoisey, just really dark. And where is Ma? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Warplock Bronze for the base tone, and we'll build that up to a copper. Yeah, yeah. It's all coming. It's all coming up Millhouse now. Yeah, I'm into it now. I'm into it. So
you weren't into it before?
Well, I'm getting into it now. I mean, hell, I just primed the damn son of a bitch. I wasn't like fired up.
You were just kind of like, oh, I guess I gotta paint it.
I assembled it. I gotta paint it now. Yeah.
Now you're all.
No, when I first saw this model though, when they showcased it like months and months ago, I was like, yeah, that's a cool looking model. Same with the troll dude. I like the big troll dude with the guy on standing on his shoulders. I like that model too.
Yeah, they are cool models. I don't know if I'll ever get them.
Like all the Crew Boy models, I think are all really cool. They're all really cool, mainly because they're all so, you know, not the usual crap that we see out of G-dubs as far as like monsters are concerned and, you know, things like that.
Yeah,
right?
even for orcs, they're like a different.
Yeah, yeah.
They give off a different vibe.
Yeah, like even that big bird thing, the vulture, like that's really cool.
Because when all the other orcs, when they have monsters, you know, their monsters are also big and tough and green like them. And now you have orcs that aren't maybe so tough. You know, they're more lanky in the limbs.
Yeah.
And they have monsters that are more. I don't want to say sickly, but they have that like gross kind of. I don't know.
I hear you.
They're not, you know, they're not big, bulky orc monsters.
I hear what you're trying to say.
Because when it came out with Iron Jaws, you know, the really big, you know, orcs, they got that wyvern or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Maul Crusher, and it's like a big, buff dragon. And these ones are all like kind of like flanky and kind of sickly looking, I guess. Yeah.
I have no idea what some of these details are. Oh well. Yeah, I think. Shut up. Yeah, I think this turquoise is going to work out. Kind of wish I knew what these bundles were. If they're supposed to be rope? Yeah, I guess they're rope. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna be okay.
When they first announced that model, I thought he was going to cost a lot more than he ended up costing.
Why would you think it was gonna cost?
Because I thought he was almost as big as the Vulture, but he's not.
No.
Not quite as big. I was prepared to have to pay, a 3-digit number. It's only a 2-digit number.
So you thought maybe GW was showing mercy?
Yeah, were they? Probably not. It's just the expectation. When I looked at the model, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, same. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna paint all this stuff. I have no idea what that edge detail is. I think it's just where it meets up with the other parts, but screw it. It's getting paint now.
That's what that monster is called, a sludge raker.
For raking sludge.
So you're going with the unhelmeted head. Is that the one with the face mask on it?
Yeah, it's got like a...
For the guy riding him?
Yeah, they show this dude, the SwampBoss. I left his face mask off, so that's why he doesn't look like he's got the full mask on. But, yeah, this is supposed to be the SwampBoss, and the other dude with the chains is the SnatchaBoss. He's the boss of Snatches.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, there was another head in that kit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's 2 heads, but this one head can be the unhelmeted or the helmeted. Helmeted. Helmeted.
So I'm looking at. So I was looking at the guy with the chains, and he has like the face mask. He must be the Snatcher boss.
For Snatches. Kim, Crew Boys became my second Age of Sigmar army after my Soulblight Gravelords. Cool. Gim, Copper is awesome. It has so many different states that exist in. You can go bright to dark to fully green tarnish. Yeah. There's quite a few directions you can go with. You're going copper as your metal. I think copper will work better just because, you know, the dirty, grimy kind of vibe that these guys have. So yeah, I think that's the route we're going. Kim, going to get that big vulture thing, the mouth of Mork or something. Yeah, the dude you're making is the unique model. The dude I'm making is the unique model. The unhelmeted? Helmeted? It's unique. Okay. Kim, does snatch mean the same thing, same over there? Yes, it does. And being a boss at snatching, that just means you hook up a lot. If you're the boss at it. It's like, that's the guy. That's the boss. Oh yeah, what's he do? He snatches. He's the boss of snatches. Some might even say he crushes them. We'll have to wait for that Games Workshop kit to come out. The Snatcher Crusher. There's your new fucking Age of Sigmar unit there. The Snatcher Crusher. What's he do? He crushes snatches. What do you mean? What the fuck do you think he does?
I'm not prepared for this. You can't handle.
The Snatcher Crusher. I think I want that as my title. The Snatcher Crusher. Fuck, I hit the flesh. Oh well. Won't be the last time.
Alright, Chris. Here's a question for you.
Huh?
I just got a restock notification.
Okay.
On Forge
Alright.
for the Death Rider Outriders attachment. For the Death Court of Krieg, those are the horsey boys. And it's a bundle with enough models to field nothing but horses. Do I want to do it? I've been waiting.
Gotcha. We'll do it.
Might pull the trigger.
Do it, man. Alright, next we are going to throw down some Warplock Bronze. I'm basically just blocking in some of these colors here because I just want to get a feel for the direction I'm going because I have no idea what I'm doing for this model. I'm basically playing it by ear.
I'm about to let you in on this secret, Chris. I don't know what you're doing for this model either.
But is it really a secret? I think it is kind of important to get this kind of the ideas for this stuff settled right away before, you know, really kind of going forward. And I think if it works well on the head,
a plan can be important, but
yeah. Well, sometimes like I don't usually have a plan. Sometimes I just, you know, kind of wing it, and you know, usually kind of works out.
Screw it, you'll do it live.
Yeah, you know, like I just kind of, screw it, I'll just do it live, and you know, I'll figure something out, and you know. Now, like the metal looks really intense right now, but I think it's gonna work because it's gonna go darker a bit. It'll get that verdigris in there. It'll have bright green bits here and there, and then a dry brushing of copper. the Incubite darkness is going to come down a bit. It's not going to be quite this level of Incubi. It's actually going to be fairly dark in the recesses and the shadows, but fairly bright along its edges. Yeah. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see the where I'm heading. I can see the destination.
You can see it? Are you sure you can see it?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Pretty sure? But aren't you sure?
Are you trying to confuse me?
Am I?
Are you?
People discussing color theory. Meanwhile, I'm like, haha, color go on model.
Make color go now.
Make color go now. But Boop, your whole bottle is painted in bright warm tones. Yes. There's no contrast in this model. Yes.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
So with these new Infinity starter kits, what I'm liking, it gets people to branch out more. You get the little introductory rule book things, and in there, you know, they give you the lore snippets for the factions in the box. But now they're starting to provide, well, they've been doing it for a couple of boxes now, alternate color schemes. And I like that because then that means people start branching out and stop painting, you know,
Everything the same
color as the studio scheme.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's why I like the old guard codexes, because they'd have like different regiments and different colors for those regiments. But then they'd also acknowledge, like, just because you're playing the 8th Cadians, it does not mean they have to be tan clothes, green armor. And they would have like other 8th Cadian regiment models like painted in like snow camo, forest camo. I like it when companies include alternate color schemes in their rule books and stuff, because it encourages other people to not all paint the same crap or the same colors, I guess.
You had it right. Crap. I concur.
Which is kind of like what I missed in the newer codexes. Granted, you know, like Space Marines, you know, they paint all their, you know, various chapters in those codexes, but like the newer guard codexes don't have those, like, because there's like 2 or 3 pages in that old 3rd or 4th edition codex for guard. There's like 2 or 3 pages of just like alternate color schemes. Like they had catachans in there that were painted in like urban camo and desert camo. They had Mordians in not bright colors. They had like urban Talarn schemes for the Desert Raiders. I just like stuff like that. It encourages creativity.
Definitely.
Now back in Rogue Trader, just because you're an Ultramarine does not mean you were blue. Because in Rogue Trader, a lot of the chapters had like campaign schemes where they like camo themselves up.
Yeah, there was a bit of a logic back in the day, right? If the Space Marines were fighting on a desert world, guess what? They're coloring their armor like a desert.
Yeah.
But then they changed that because they basically made it so that Space Marines were kind of like, knights, right?
Yeah, knight.
So they run around in their heraldry colors, proudly displaying, Blood Angel scheme, even though they're in a desert night world kind of thing or whatever, right? It's just
because if they didn't do that, they'd be cowards. That's not a knightly thing to do.
right, exactly. Yeah, I'm digging the copper. Good call, Gim. Good call. Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to work really well. Because the cloth and the armor is going to be fairly dark. The skin is going to be fairly bright. The spiky horns and teeth, I think, the teeth are definitely going to go to almost a white. The horns, I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go with them. The rope and straps, I don't know. The lazy side of my brain says just use Snakebite leather contrast and just be done with it. I think all the harness and the bolts and stuff like that, I don't think I'm going to do them like steel. I think I'm going to do them copper as well. I think it's all going to be coppers.
Just everything's going to be copper?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just so that it keeps with that kind of primitive vibe, right? Not as refined. Yeah. He's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Everybody out there's like, what the fuck is he doing? What is this maniac doing?
This guy's talking to his model, saying, good boy.
Well, I was petting his head. I said, good boy. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Who needs a cookie? Kim, I think that's going to work fine. The metal is not that bright. Yeah, I don't think so. It's pretty dark. I mean, I'm going to shade it and then pick out the, the verdigray, and then I'll give it a dry brush of like a copper just to get edges and such, things like that. So yeah, it will be fairly dark, but it will kind of be on the lighter green side. So yeah. And I think that'll tie in well with the Incubi Darkness for the cloth. Yeah. Yeah. Kim, Snakebite leather contrast over the light or medium brown is really nice. Yeah. Well, see, I've sprayed it with a gray prime, and I know Snakebite leather does not sit on this as nicely as if I had done it in, say, like Wraithbone or whatever the hell that color is called. That really warm off-white. But
you don't conveniently have a Wraithbone in a pot?
Yes, I do. But do I feel like doing that and then Snakebite, or should I just go with a dark brown and and bring the edge highlights up and then hit it with a Snakebite and just to pull the colors together? Like there's a bunch of different routes I could go. It really all depends on how much effort I really want to put into it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm thinking how far do I want to push this, right? Like, do I want to just go for like a tabletop, or do I want to go for a good tabletop? I don't think I'm going to go for a display on this. I don't know. It all depends. Because right now I'm thinking...
Tabletop.
What's that?
I would say at least a good tabletop, because who knows, you might want to play Age of Sigmar, and you might be like, well, I want to play with this guy.
Yeah, that is a possibility. Kim, golden brown base coat and then Snakebite leather. Golden brown then Snakebite leather? Yeah, we could do that.
Granted, granted, I do not know what your good tabletop level is, so I don't know how far you would go. Like,
how I did
highlight.
how I did Adastra. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really spend that much time on her, right? Like, here, let's pull her out. I would consider this a good tabletop. You know, there's some fun stuff going on. You know, there's some effects, but I mean, like, some of those effects and stuff like that, they were easily achieved. It's not like I spent a great deal of time, you know. Oh, you know what? I haven't done a showcase video for this yet, have I? Like, where I turn it around?
Like it.
No, I don't think I have.
I'll have to go back and see how you did the hair, because I was going to do something similar for mine.
For the hair...
To get the shape, the side. Or is it just skin on the side?
It's just skin.
Like,
yeah.
That's just light casting a
I
shadow.
don't know.
No, we're like...
Yeah, like where the side of her head is shaved. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's just left it darker.
Oh, okay.
Because she's
I
blonde.
thought it was like, I thought you had like glazed in yellows and stuff.
No. I think I just left it darker and just pushed the highlights on her face. So I left the side of her head a little bit darker. Because 5 o'clock shadow on blonde people, it is not that distinguishable. I've got a buddy. He's very blonde and he's hairy. But you can't tell, like looking at him out in the normal daylight, especially on like an overcast day, you can't really see the blonde body hair. But when it's like, you know, the sunlight's coming in on the side kind of thing, yeah, you could see like all the hair is picked up by the light, and you can see, holy Christ, it looks like a damn chia pet. It's a blonde chia pet. But yeah, that would be about what I would consider a good tabletop, is like that, where I pick out a few things in some effort, but otherwise a majority of it is done rather quickly. I think most of the time I only ever really work in a good tabletop. I don't go for display standard type stuff. I don't even know what I've done that's display standard. There's things I've spent a good deal of time on, but at some point I just kind of like, fuck it, I'm done, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just...
Yeah.
Like, doing things to display type standards does not really fire me up. I only ever do it really for videos, taking it, you know, to a really high point, because that's just for video, right? And usually people are like, well, how does it look under this, and how does it, you know, like that, and it's just, that kind of shit doesn't really interest me.
I get you.
Gim, sorry, tuned out. Wife got home, going to need to go to work. Later, duder. You heading out? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take 2 seconds here. I'm going to go grab another coffee. I need more coffees. Coffee. Oh, I'll be back in a sec. Entertain yourselves. Coffee. Alrighty. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm mostly digging this color scheme. I'm actually kind of excited for it now. So it's really just the wood. Do I really want to go with a black, dark gray, or dark brown? Let's tackle these ropes for a sec. Let's base coat those ropes. So I want the ropes to be fairly dark as well, because I don't want the detail to get confused with his skin. I want his skin to be very, very pale, right? So everything else plays off of that. For the ropes, I will base coat them. I think I will use some Snakebite leather on them, and on the straps as well. So I think I want to go with something warm, but something light. Something that will show the highlights up, but What do we got? Yeah, you know what? I think this might work. Balor Brown. I don't know if this is still current color, or if this is one that got, swapped out for a new name or something, but Balor Brown, it's very mustardy kind of color. It's a yellowy brown. We're going to base coat the ropes in that. Might even do the straps. Again, this is about the mid-tone of things. So, for anybody who's been, paying attention to my bullshit for any kind of length of time, I've become a very big fan of working with the middle tone and pushing the shadows and pushing the highlights and starting from the mid-tone and, working down and working up kind of thing. It's basically kind of how I like to work in photography, where you get the mid-tones and then you also, try a few on the, a few stops down and a few stops above, right? And, you can get interesting looks with those different approaches. And with painting, I kind of feel the same way. If you start off entirely dark, you are, you got to push a bunch of layers to build up, especially if you want something to be bright. And if you start off with everything being really, really bright, you're pushing everything very, very dark. Whereas if you start in the middle, it only takes a little bit to go down and it only takes a little bit to come up. And it allows you to play within your color scheme without, having to realize, how far you need to push things to go even further, right? It's basically start in the middle and work your way out kind of thing, right? And who's joining us? Oh, the Barfing Sheep. Welcome. Your volume is low, I think.
Oh, is it better now? I'm moving my mic closer.
There we go. I can hear you crystal clear now.
Very nice. Just tell me if it's too loud.
It sounds just great. Unless you start screaming into the mic.
No.
Well, I mean, if you're getting murdered, be good to let us know.
Oh yeah, I will let you know.
Disco, wife about to drag me out of the house, trying to finish some bits on this Indominus Captain. There isn't a captain in the Indominus set? Fuck, I still haven't even gotten into all the Indominus stuff. I haven't really not touched much of the Space Marine stuff. I have the bike. I have another bike sitting on my pile here. And yeah, what else do I have? I still have not finished the base of this guy. Some may recall painted this one a while ago. Brazen Claw. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I'll do the other guy in the same scheme. I think I'll do another dude, something else, and another dude, something else. The dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
Alright, Chris, I think I pulled the trigger.
You bought it?
I just bought me a whole bunch of Krieg horse boys.
Horse boys?
Let's see, 3,
Sounds like a hole in the wallet.
6, 9, 12, 16 horsies.
16 horsies. Damn. That's a lot of horsies, dude.
Yeah.
You must love the horse.
I like the models.
No, the horse. You love the horse. Say it. Say it.
I love the horse.
There we go.
There we go.
Loves the horse.
Yeah. Yeah, I do, Chris. What about it?
I'm all about the horse, man.
horses can be really fun to paint.
Oh, definitely.
So muscly things.
These ones are the Krieg ones, so they're all kind of like decrepit and mutated, or slightly mutated, stuff like that.
Didn't know there was a difference.
Well, don't they have robot horses?
The Kriegers? No.
Who has the robot horses?
Those are the Mechanicus guys that have robot horses.
Oh.
It's pretty metal.
The Kriegers have mutated horses with gas masks on them.
Well, you got to protect them horses.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because for a faction that doesn't care about losses, they care about the horses.
Yeah, I can't
They
imagine
care
that.
enough to give them the gas mask.
I can't imagine that Mechanicus are very much environmentalists either. You know, because you need to strip mine for resources and shit, right? So I can't imagine Mechanicus are very green.
Well, they're mostly shiny.
Well, Kriegers are a very, very green guard regiment, because you know all the dead bodies eventually turn into fertilizer for plants to eat. No. Okay.
But I guess in 40K though, going green means something else, right?
Oh yeah.
Right? I'm going green. So you're going orc?
You've
No.
seen us traitor.
Well, in that case, Orruk Warclans had a faction of humans go green, so.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I want them to bring that game back.
Or you could just play it. You don't have to bring it back. You just play it. Just get the rules, start playing it.
But I gotta find the models.
The old models are kind of, they're a little dated.
So it's orcs. Do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, like the new orc buggies and cars and stuff like that, way better than what was available then.
Well, I'm not talking about the Orc models. I'd want to play as the certain humans that have gone green.
You could convert some Catachan dudes with orc faces, so they have orc masks.
I actually think that's what some of the models in that box get. I think some of them were just Catachan. I think like the gang leader was just the Catachan model that they threw in there.
Yeah, you gotta know your enemy.
Yeah, so those ropes look really yellow right now. That's just because I'm going to push it with Snakebite leather later. I might even do the straps. Yeah, screw it. We're doing the straps. We'll see how it looks. If I hate it, I can always change it.
So you're basing them yellow and then going over with Snakebite.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do.
That is a neat idea.
Well, I was going to go with like the really light value Wraithbone, or Wraithseer, I think it's called. It's an off-white. It's kind of like Ushabti bone kind of color, right? And on contrast, you want to go with a really bright color and then lay the contrast down so that you get all your best of both worlds kind of situation. But here, I think, because these ropes, they remind me more like big hemp ropes, and hemp ropes kind of have that straw color to them. And so I think that's what the route I'm going to go. And so these straps, I want them to be leathery, but I also want them to be fairly light. And like I said, this is going to be the mid-tone, and we're going to push shadows, and we'll also push highlights. So they will look slightly different once we're done.
I haven't really had that thought. So I just go straight on white primer and then go ham.
Oh, with the contrasts?
And then I use them as a base, and I see if I want to shade them or not, and then I layer on top.
Yeah, with the contrasts, you're better off. White is all right. Usually, like if you're not sure which way you want to go with the color, but if you really want to maximize the effect, cool values, you can get away with the white, but you're better off with a cool white, meaning something with a blue gray added to it, right? Because that what is it, gray sear? It's almost like Uthran gray, right? Where it's a very, very cool white. And with warmer values on contrast, you want to go with more of a warmer off-white, right? Like Wraith Seer or Screaming Skull, Ushabti Bone, that kind of realm. And so with this, I'm going that kind of realm, but I'm pushing darker. So that these straps are going to be fairly dark, and just that bare yellowing should be the high points. And so if you know with this Snakebite leather, how dark it can go, right? Yeah. You can see how it all comes together, how it all plays out in my brains.
I think I'm going to do that more than think about the undertones more, because I got the Skull, I got a Vallejo surface primer.
Okay, yeah.
I just got straight on with that through my airbrush, and then. But now, I think I'm going to have to try and base something.
Yeah, because like with the contrast paints, with warmer colors, warmer being obviously the ones with more reds, oranges, yellows to them. So like the browns typically fall within warm tones, and you want to going with white, you have no issues, but it tends to knock a bit of the warmth out of the warmer color, versus if you use just a slightly warmer off white, that it really comes forward and it looks really, really good. But when you throw like a warm color on top of a cooler base, like if I threw on Snakebite leather on top of this gray, you would see this weird graying, yellowy. It just doesn't look quite right. You know what? Here, fuck it. I'll demonstrate it. I'll ruin my model just for you.
No, you don't have to. I do understand.
No. I want to ruin it.
Or if you...
No,
Okay,
I want to ruin it. Where's Snakebite leather? There's Snakebite leather.
So I'm looking through my paint drawer now to find something that matches what you're saying.
Now the gray I'm using, that's the primer. That's Stanores primer. It's the same color as the plastic, so it's really hard to see when you've primed something. But it's a good mid-tone, and because I went gray because I had no idea really at the beginning of this how I was going to paint this, like what colors I was going to use. I've only just come to this realization as how I'm painting this during the stream. I came into this with no preconceptions as far as like how I was going to go about this. And this is actually kind of a collaborative, because Boop was giving me ideas as far as like how to do the skin. The Gim suggested copper, and I decided on Incubi Darkness for the cloth, because it's going to be like the skin is going to go quite bright. I want it to be kind of an albino-y kind of look, and so the flesh and everything like that will be quite bright. The where I've painted Incubi Darkness, that's going to go fairly dark in the shadows, but it's going to get quite bright on the edges. The copper is going to get verdigray. It's going to get pushed back a bit with the darker oxidization, but then just a little bit of bright copper is going to catch the edges and bring that luster back. So it looks quite, quite bright right now, but it's actually going to get pushed really far. So anyway, with the Snakebite leather contrast, now this is probably one of the best colors. If you're going to only pick up one color out of the contrast paint line, I would highly recommend this color, because this is really great for doing little belts, pouches, holsters, stuff like that. Like, you just one shot, you're done kind of thing. Especially on those little small details. If you couldn't really be, bothered to paint, some of those small things, like you're just looking to get your models done kind of thing, yeah, that's really handy. So anyway, with the contrast, or with the Snakebite leather, see here, this is what I was planning to do anyway. I'm going to hit the rope and the strap as well. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. No, you can't see what I'm doing anyway. So I want to make sure I get most of the perimeter so it frames it and basically creates like the black lining. So there. And then here on the strap. Did I get both sides of the strap? Almost. Oh well, screw it. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to thin it down actually for the strap though, because I don't want to push it too far too quickly. So basically I'm going with about a 50-50 of water and contrast. Yeah. And then we're just going to push that color just like that. And because we're glazing, we're pushing the color where we want it to get darker, where we want the color to build. Sometimes we think, it's just contrast paint, I'll just push it wherever it's going to do its thing. And yeah, for the most part, that is true. But you can also, have a say as where it's going to go as well, like how it's going to change values and go into details for you, and do some of the fun contrasty type things it does, right? So anyway, with the pure Snakebite leather on top of the gray, so I'm applying this fairly generously on this leather bit. I am being really, really generous with it. Yeah. You know what? We probably could have went just a little bit heavier on the strap. Just like that. And that's the other fun part about contrast and working with these clear colors like this, is that if you're not too sure what your outcome's going to be, then just thin the color and just push a few layers. And you don't always have to use contrast the way it's directed to, where it's just one heavy coat on the surface and call it a day kind of thing. You can slowly build to your desired end result. But anyway, just for the quick demonstration, so you can see how it's not quite dry yet, but you can see it like the ropes. See how there's a dramatic difference between the ropes now?
Yep.
Right? And so the ropes, that's closer to what I want, but then I'll come in with a highlight and knock a bit of that bright yellow saturation out. And same with the straps as well. And you can see the straps look a lot warmer now. They don't feel quite as yellow, right? And there's some of that yellowy brown in there. But look where the gray is. See how it changes that value? And you lose some of that yellow, and you can see like where the gray tones should reside. You see this off color in there. And if we went with white, it would have a similar kind of look like that. It basically would add a bit of a coolness to otherwise a warm color.
almost looks like it has a tinge of green in it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's showing you a bit more of a green, or the way our eyes interpret it, right? But yeah, it's not as nice and warm as these other colors are. Even though we went with a fairly dark base, but I think what is this, Balor Brown? Yeah, that's what I based that in. Balor Brown. That's probably a similar value as the gray. Like if we were to switch to a black and white filter, these two colors probably would look similar side by side, right? They're the same level of brightness. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's why when you're using some of these contrast paints, if it's a warm color, give it a slightly warmer base, or you can even work within a warm base. Of course, you can also play with it in the other tones or in the other way, because for example, if you were painting red, say you were doing a Blood Angel, but you wanted to go for something deeper red, well, you could always use like a purple or blue to shade that red, and that would bring the value, the shadow values downwards without having to go with a black or a brown. Even though technically a brown, to make brown, all you need in our traditional color wheel is yellow, blue, and red. You mix the three of them together and you've got brown. Or you can mix two complementary colors together and you get brown. And purple yellow, when you mix them together, makes a very interesting brown color. Anywho.
I'm absorbing the knowledge.
Oh yeah.
I'm like Donnie Rico from Starship Troopers' desire to move forward.
Oh, the meme? Disco, adios. Later, dude.
I'm doing my part.
We're all doing our part, aren't we?
Yeah, we're asking the questions and then Chris comes with the answers.
Well, that's
making us all more knowledgeable in the ways of the brush.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the goal, right?
Yeah.
It is really amazing.
Chat, I have a question for him.
What's that?
He had the paint color I was looking for. I was gonna say, is Coma's still in the chat?
Oh yeah, I think Coma's still here. Yeah.
Okay. Coma, what paint line was that French gray in? Because that's quite literally like the French blue gray I was looking for, but I can't find. Was it Vallejo? If he doesn't answer now, I can just tag him on Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was zoned out, I guess, working on actually getting hobbing done, unlike me. What brand was? Oh, he's making coffee. What that French blue gray you shared in Discord? Like, was it maybe a week ago? What company made that? Because that's the exact tone of, I guess, French blue gray I was looking for. Because all the other ones are not that color. Was it Vallejo? AK
So I think for the wood, I'm going to use Basilicum Gray. Just for gigs. Just to block the color in. And see if that's the route I want to go.
Yeah, there it is. That's the gray blue I've been looking for. An actual gray blue, because all the other ones are either gray or blue. I forgot AK is the people who make the mid primer. Yeah, I found it, thank you.
Intense hobbying going on right now.
What's that?
It's intense hobbying going on around here right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Super
Silence
intense.
of painting.
Well, I'm terrible at walking and chewing gum, so. And I'm deep in thought because, well, I just want to see where I'm taking things, right? And I don't think I'm going to be happy until I cover pretty much everything that I want in the color that I think it's going to be. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh wow, I actually found this paint color
Excuse me.
in a US supplier. So I don't have to pay the $10 shipping for one pot or one little dropper of paint.
That's a win. Yeah. I was looking for the...
Normally I wouldn't be looking for a single dropper bottle. I would find something that I already have similar. But the French blue-gray color that I want is a very unique blue-gray, if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't.
French blue-gray, is it based on like a...
Or like World War I uniform
Yeah.
color, where it's like that really smoky, like sky blue. Almost.
Alright.
I guess that's the way to put it.
I've been looking for the neon colors from Skill 75. It's so difficult to find around here. What are they called? FX Fleur or something?
I don't know. Mr. Kim, Mr. Kim, did you pick those up? The fluorescent colors from Scale 75? I know Mr. Kim likes collecting paints and such, and you both are in Norway, I believe, no? Might be able to help you out. Point you in the right direction.
How many Scandinavians monkeys do we have?
There's a few. Somebody's in.
Compared to outside of like North Americans, there's actually quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we love painting over here.
There are a few. There's a couple in Norway. I think 1 or 2 is in Sweden. Yeah. There's actually monkeys all over the planet. Which is kind of hilarious.
Oh, I think I found something.
Oh, that's a strap. Damn it.
Yes, I found them. But not in stock, of course. The website just says passion for trains.
What kind of trains?
I think this is a train model shop. Oh yes, it is. Well, I'll have to wait another 30 years before I do that. My idea is to have a fully mechanized orc army and paint them all cyberpunky, like Blade Runner style.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds fun.
It do indeed.
Do indeed?
Yeah. It do sound fun indeed. Risk. Two weekends from now, my GW store will be having its store birthday, so I'm kind of excited.
You're kind of excited?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like the two models that are the store birthday models, but it's just because they give you free goodies for spending money there.
Nice. 2 weeks from now is almost my birthday.
Well, every GW does that. Does the free goodies on their birthday for like hitting certain milestones money wise. And I'm looking at buying some more stone cash. And it's stuff they're stocking this year. I'm like, oh, I guess I can wait 2 weeks and just buy it there and then get like the free backpack and stuff.
I'm gonna get the chunky Stonecast or the skinny Stonecast.
Honky is a great photography. I want to get the angel dude that's a clown. That's a big dog.
Where are we? These guys have so many names I just can't keep up. The Knight Questigor and the Knight, another Golden Boy. but they do look cool. Can't deny that.
Because I'm keeping the Stormcast I'm painting in Kokloma. I'm keeping them well, I might mix some Chonky Boys in there, but I like their upgrade kit for the Celestial Warbringers, and it changes all the hammers and stuff on the Stormcast to really big twin-tailed comets. So I want to that upgrade kit's built for the Chonky Boys, so I kind of want to put together some Chonky Boys and use that upgrade kit.
I'll skip on the Chunky Boys.
When do you go from being a chonky boy to being just a fat ass?
When you have when you're not, when you don't have that much, I guess, muscle under there. Because I guess in my mind at least, chonky boys are like strong fat. So for instance, ogres. Ogres are chonky boys.
They're chonky.
Yeah.
Because they strong.
Yeah. And they like to eat.
Oh, I'm an ogre. Get out of my swamp.
Do you have layers?
Oh yeah, I am an onion.
But if you're talking about, you know, the meme with the chonky boys, and it's like the various like fat cats, I think chonky boy is the stage before oh lord he coming.
Oh lord he coming. That's a funny thing. I don't really have. I am, of course, a chunky boy, but it's not really fat. Apparently, it is intracellular fluid, and I don't know how to deal with that. So,
Growing up, it was always I was big boned. There's no such thing as big bones.
You just didn't drink enough milk, Chris.
Yeah. No, it's no such thing as big bones. It's just you're fat.
No, I was just making a milk makes strong bones joke.
Nothing wrong with it. Just fat.
I don't know, I get what you're saying, Chris, but I was just playing off because you said there's no such thing as big bone, and I was like, because you didn't drink enough milk. Milk makes.
I'm thinking, as long as you're happy and you don't have any major health problems, who cares?
Well, I have health problems.
Well, they're major.
Well, diabetes.
Yeah, that's pretty major.
Yeah.
The milk joke might not have been relatable to you, Chris, because I don't know if Canada has that, like, used to have that milk campaign where it was just, like, black with white lettering and it said milk, strong bones.
Yeah, oh yeah, they push that shit here too.
So I was making the joke that you were big boned because you didn't drink enough milk.
Gotcha.
It's got milk, that's what it was called. That's the campaign, just like black with white letters.
Yeah.
How far are we into Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, and the Dominion box is still there, and I am still tempted, even though I already have the Dominion box.
Do it.
In another Dominion box?
I have other stuff I should do, like the Eldar. Let me spend another chunk of change. I want that. Give me that millionth customer model she told me. 1,000,019 customers.
Oh, damn it. I hit that freaking strap. Son of a bitch. I need to move this light over here more. see what I'm doing.
Anybody got any exciting plans, hobby related or not?
Plans?
I think I just mentioned it at the Orcs.
Or what about you, Chris? Any exciting?
Nothing I'm able to share.
Gotcha.
Hit that freaking strap right there. Son of a gun. It's okay, I gotta whip the color out anyway. Yeah.
I like the colors. Did you paint the wood already?
Yeah, I just hit it with basilicum gray just to see what it looks like. I don't like it. I think it's gonna go darker.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, wait, that looks like it has paint on it, but I don't remember you doing that.
Yeah, I did it really fast. I think I'm gonna go with something dark.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna hit it with Sigor brown. Really dark brown. Almost looks like black, but you can still see kind of brown tones.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I need to pull this color back out. What is it? Balor brown? Balor brown. Whatever Balor is.
Balor. It's probably something in... Well, obviously, because it's GW paint, something in their IP.
What was it? Bailo Brown. That's probably because I didn't learn American English or Canadian English.
Well, we speak poor English on this side, so. Balor? Baylor?
Yeah,
I don't know. Baylor? Well, what the hell's a Baylor?
We only speak poor English if you ask the England.
Yeah.
And then if you ask us about the English's English, it's they have too many unnecessary letters.
And the color and flavor and all that.
Oh no, that is quite literally why color and color are spelled differently here and there.
Yeah.
Because over here, it was just unanimously decided by the literate, the people who I guess are in charge of language decided the U was unnecessary. So
But then it would be color. Well, I'm not even English, so I have no say in this.
So if anybody wants a history lesson, that is why. It's just the people or whoever's in charge of languages over here at some point
Save
in
ink.
history was just like, we're going to take out all these letters that we don't need. I'm organizing the minis that came in my Infinity starter box. so I know which ones are in which faction. And they've made it real easy. Because one faction is the Nomads, which are very cyberpunky. And one faction is Ariadna, which is more like modern military looking. Which is like, I just look at them and it's like, oh, okay, that one goes there, that one goes there.
Yeah, if I was gonna get into Infinity, I'd probably go Ariandra. You know what I mean?
That is the best faction.
Is it? I have no idea about the rules.
Oh, I'm completely biased.
Well, I like the look of them. They have this kind of, U.S. Commando Special Forces, kind of vibe to them.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
So I play Ariadna as my main faction, and the faction I play after that, which is I guess my second most played faction, is the Toha, which are the humanoid aliens that have like turnip heads or turnip hair, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you just said a bunch of things there.
They're the ones with the green hair. You might not see a picture.
No, I'm not familiar with it. I'm not that familiar with thing. The thing about the things.
They're kind of similar to Eldar, just instead of bone, their armor's made out of like organics. But the organics are designed in such a way that they look like synthetic or whatever. It looks like normal spacesuit, but it's supposed to be like living crap they're wearing.
Living crap.
Well, not like actual. Not like actual poop.
Doo-doo?
The armor they are wearing is kind of like somewhat living.
Living doo-doo?
It's not, no.
Or
maybe.
It's all
they
about.
Don't go that deep in the lore. It could be. Who knows?
It's living doo-doo. Nice.
Make up your own headcanon.
Just like how it's like hypothesized or whatever, since Eldar have like evolved so perfectly that their poops are actually crystal or whatever.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
I think it's a fantasy.
Side work around there it is.
Because in the lore, Eldar is supposed to be like, I guess, yeah, pretty like evolved, like efficient being or whatever.
Well, the thing is that, at least from what I've always understood of the lore, is that Eldar are made. They didn't evolve from anything.
Oh yeah, they're made. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting it. You're right. Okay, they were made pretty much perfect. And I guess there's a joke that's like they're so perfect that they literally like poop crystals or something.
Yeah.
Sounds painful, to be honest.
Yeah, if you think about it, right? That does sound quite painful. To poop a crystal. Like this one time? No.
What we would think it would be painful. Who knows? Don't poop crystals, do you?
True. Like their anus might be hexagon shaped. We don't know. Might be, to unclog them all, it takes us an Allen key. You never know. All right.
But they're supposed to be, the perfect organism.
Well, I don't know about perfect organism, but like perfect organism, like as far as being made
like
is concerned.
Yeah.
Well, like no, like
they're
made for the war, right?
Yeah.
They're made for fighting Necrons. So.
Right. So as far as the humans are concerned, they think Eldar are pretty perfect.
Yeah. But how
heresy to me.
But how perfect could they be if they were made millions of years ago and only slowly changed up until like 10,000 years ago, kind of thing? Right.
Well, let me put it this way: apparently their empire is dying. Okay, yeah, but humanity keeps running into a bunch of them. So there's that. No, maybe they're the perfect drama queen. Oh no, our civilization's dying. Yeah, but we keep running into you. For dying civilization, there are a lot of you.
Well, I think that illustrates that they were, quite expansive, right? Because they can, like, they had free reign of the galaxy before humans were even evolving,
Yeah,
right?
because also they had to contend for, because they got rid of the Necrons for the most part. Well, I mean, Necrons kind of went to sleep, but they quote unquote won the war, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they won the war.
And the only thing they had to contend with were the orcs running around.
Yeah.
That's just good fun, isn't it?
I think so.
And it's not too hard, I guess, to keep orcs at bay because they're just as likely to fight themselves. Drop his arm. Where you go? Shoot, where's his arm at? Oh no, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, Cygor Brown is the way to go here. Dark wood. Yeah, me likey. I prefer that look.
Likey?
Me likey. Yeah.
Mikey likes it?
Mikey like. Yeah, the dark wood definitely looks a lot better.
I'm sat here figuring out guerrilla tactics against orcs. If you make a whole bunch of teeth, you could inflate their market.
So you want to take orcs over with economic conquest?
Yeah, because they have no sense of economy other than teeth,
Yeah,
and if there's too
so
many,
how
what the
can
fuck do
you-
they do?
How can you, if they don't have a grasp of like a true economy,
Yeah.
they just make teeth that they can grow, forever. Because they're like sharks, they'll just keep growing teeth. How would inflating their economy with more teeth? Because they already don't understand what an economy is.
Then they'll be scratching their green heads. What are we going to do with all them teeth? And then they start buying shit, and then suddenly the teeth run out.
But you're
And
also
then they have to slow grow their own money.
but you're also operating under the pretense that they think ahead of time.
They'll get to that point like, I got all this teeth, but he doesn't have all the teeth. That orc doesn't have all the teeth. So he's gonna go over to the other orc, and they're gonna fight over it. So
And they're going to keep fighting over the teeth. There we
Yeah,
go.
they already do that though.
Even more, because they're more teeth. Well, I see my plan has failed. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, we're gonna take this.
No, it's just one of those things. Like, if it was like another, like maybe if you like flooded the cow economy, you could like crush them that way. But just like orcs don't understand much outside of fighting. Like, their pain boys have no idea what they're doing. They are just genetically encoded to be somewhat of a doctor.
Yeah, chop it off, put on something metal, there we go. I just think I love the idea of an orc count.
Well, I'm sure like some big, freebooter warlord has a grot that is specifically there to count all the teeth and count all the, whatever stuff they loot. I don't know what orc pirates go after. Does the orc pirate, does he raid the local dentist office?
Of course he would.
I'm sure they're like orc accountants. They're probably like Gretchen or Graz.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I'd imagine it's because they're only an accountant because the boss wants them to count, all the teeth or all the guns and stuff.
How many teeth you get?
And orcs don't really need a bank. They can just go up to another orc, punch their face in, break a few teeth. They just got instant withdrawal.
Yeah, the social economic functions of orcs, right? I mean, like, it's pretty straightforward.
Might makes right.
Well, and the thing is that because it is such a simple society, you can imagine that it actually would take quite a bit to try and destabilize that.
Right. So, I don't know where my 4th edition Orc Codex is. It's the last paperback one they have. I don't know where I put it. But in there is a quote from an Eldar seer, and it's describing the orc culture and how they pretty much have made the perfect culture because they don't have to worry about collapses of their empire. They don't care about anything other than fighting. They've made I'll have to find the book because it's pretty. It sums up orc culture pretty well. And the Eldar seer is saying it's the perfect it's the perfect culture because us Eldar, all this art and stuff, and our empires collapsed. The humans, they're getting there at some point too. And it's just the orcs, they've just been around. They're going to keep being around. And I just thought it was a funny quote. Because if you think about all the factions, who's the least worried about dying out? The orcs.
Well, yeah. Right?
Who's the least worried about power struggles? The orcs.
Well, the more complex something is, the more prone it is to failure. And orc society is not very complex, so it's unlikely to fail.
It's pretty straightforward. Biggest guy makes all the rules until he dies, and the next biggest guy makes all the rules until he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that wonderful saying, keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
Put the comma where you want.
I do find it funny that I think it's the Blood Axes are one of the few. Well, they have the Bad Moon, which is the closest thing Orc society has to a merchant clan guild whatever. And it's just because they have all the teeth or a lot of the teeth. But what is it? The Blood Axes, I think they're the more militaristic, what we would think of militaristic, not or somewhat organized by orc standards. Tries using camouflage and tactics by orc standards.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the least orky of orcs because they use tactics and will withdraw and stuff like that, which is unorky.
In the codex, it's how humans try to undermine orc society by arming the Blood Axes. And the Blood Axes just kind of go, oh cool, he gave us all these tanks and stuff, and they just turn around, fight the humans that gave it to them. Because even though he might understand more tactics than an orc, or he might understand diplomacy a little bit more than a normal orc, at the heart of it, he's an orc, and he wants one thing, and that's to fight. So even though he's bartering and trading with the humans, he'll just turn around and fight the humans with whatever he bartered and traded for. Orcs Orruks is actually the faction I recommend to most beginners when they come in the 40k and they're like, where should I start? It's like, Orruks. And they're like, why? Like, the world is your oyster.
What time are we at here? Holy shit! It's 2:40.
Yeah, you're like 3 hours over. You're
Damn.
not 3 hours over. You're almost an hour over.
40 minutes OT. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll stop there for now. I'm still kind of just blocking in.
Dinner.
I think this is more or less just kind of proof of concept at the moment. But yeah, I think I'm digging where this is going.
Chris, I'm gonna make an IOU on a song. I gotta go eat dinner.
Oh, you're gonna bail on me early now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually late for dinner.
Nice. Just bails on me. Nice. Nice. Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
Thanks. I'm just trying to make you feel guilty. That's all.
Can't make me feel bad.
No, I know. He fucking bails. What a guy.
And he's gone.
And he's gone because he doesn't want me to pester him to sing an outro. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Kim, it's a really cool model and it's not that expensive, like $35. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but okay. Any parting words of wisdom there, Barfing?
Ooh, no, I don't have any.
You don't have like catchphrase or anything like that. You, hi
No, I
mom.
don't really. You can't topple Orc Society.
There we go. That's it. Hale, he said rain check on the outro. What a fucking guy. He still had time to type that out, but he fucking bailed with the swiftness.
Super fast.
Yeah, no shit.
Don't worry. Don't worry, I got you.
Okay. Oh, you're ready to sing a song? Okay.
I
Alrighty.
can't sing. Well,
Oh.
I can sing, but I won't. But I will play a mandolin.
Oh, you're gonna actually play a
Yeah.
tune. Okay, here we go. That didn't sound like a mandolin.
You ready?
I'm ready. Was that it?
You can't hear it. I'm playing as loud as I can.
No, I don't hear shit, dude.
What? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Hang on. How about this?
Yeah, dude, I don't hear shit.
Oh, that's so too bad. What? What? How?
I think I'm getting debated here. What's going on?
What? Hang on. Can you hear this one?
Do you have a headset mic? Is that what you talk through?
Yes, and it's
Okay.
supposed to pick up the entire room.
Yeah. Do you have your Discord set to push to talk?
Nope.
Then I don't know.
Oh, that's too bad. I actually was playing. Hang on, what if I do this? Can you hear now? Nope.
No, I don't hear anything.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I will get that. We'll get that sorted for next time then.
Okay, how about talk while you're playing?
Hello.
Yeah, I could hear it in the background.
Okay. I'll be like this. Did that work?
No.
Oh.
We'll do it. We'll do it next time.
Yeah.
We'll do it next
I will
time.
have it sorted then.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out on Discord what the F.
Yep.
What the actual F. Alrighty. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to thank everybody who followed for following. Although I think it was just Gim that followed earlier. I don't think there was that it? Yeah. But anywho, yeah, we're done. We're done for the day. Did,
Alright.
did we get any work done?
I got a lot of work done.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Well, I'm glad. Well, it was. Then it wasn't a waste of jumping onto the stream today. Not that I consider it a waste anytime I stream, but you know, I'm usually not you know, all fired up. But I'm into the model right now. I'm into it, so I might actually carry on with some other stuff off screen because I'm not streaming again till Monday. So, yeah, but I might get some more work done. Who knows? I might get ambitious. So anywho, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Big thank to Barfing Sheep for joining us. Oh, and Hail Boop for joining in the chat today. I will see you guys later, and let's keep getting those projects done. Right?
Yeah. Keep at it.